So Ightham Mote, built between 1340 and 1360. It's passed through many hands and given to the National Trust, I think, in 1989. It does have a moat around it, but moat spelt M-O-A-T, and the house is called Ightham Mote, M-O-T-E, which refers to a meeting place. And that's strange because Old English, in Swedish, to meet someone is to möt, you meet. So I wonder if the old Vikings had anything to do with our language, and the German. 76 rooms in here, and I think the last owner was here in the 40s during World War II, stationed here, an American, so I suppose they must have used this place for military purposes, garrisons and the like, officers' quarters. And then after the war, he came and bought it and did a lot of restoration work, bringing it back to its original glorious state, and lived in it with his family until he passed away and bequeathed it to National Trust, and they took it over in 1989, opened it to the public. I'm running out of time here. Let's go inside. In fact, before we go inside, let's take a look at it from, I don't know what this is, some kind of, maybe the quarters of the servants in days gone by. It's kind of a stable door. That's very quaint. English country gardens, the laundry cottage. The garden is open. Look at that. Quintessentially English. I love these. I love going around country homes, castles, things like that. So the entrance is here. Main entrance to the house. I don't know if they will let me do some videoing inside, but it would be nice to take you on a little tour of some of the rooms. We'll see what's what. I do like these moats. It's nice and quiet now. Imagine if I'd have come here later on or earlier on today. Stained glass window. It has a feel of Tudor about it. Built in 1340 to 1360. That was way before the Tudors. That's Plantagenet, is it? When was Richard III the last Plantagenet king? Yeah, that was right up to the late 1400s, early 1500s, because Henry VII took the throne from him and became the first Tudor king. No entry, I might have to show my card. Walk this way. Gosh, if you could smell it. It's so old. Can't get the light. Hello, light. This must be the main hall entrance. Suits of armour. Hi. Don't film you. Do you mind if I do myself a little video vlog? Tell me about this room. I'll interview you. Interview you. Tell me about this room. Let's get you in a good light.
No.
Yeah, come here. Stand right here.
This is the Great Hall.
Okay.
No,
Talk to me. Don't talk to the camera.
Too long. This is the Great Hall. Dates from 1320s.
Okay. The house was built in 1340, though. It says in the
1320s, 1330s. We always give a year, a few years either. So
Okay.
It can't be exactly precise. So that's when we date it from. It's a Great Hall house, and it took the traditional shape of great hall house, with the great hall, kitchens and butteries to one side. Buttery meaning where the wine and the beer
Okay.
nothing to do with butter.
Okay.
And ale, I should mention. And to the other side, service and service areas with a crypt,
Okay.
a chapel, and a solar, if they were very wealthy. This house has 2 solars, which means they were very, very wealthy.
And what is a solar?
A solar is a place, in that period, everything happened in here. The fire was in the middle,
Okay.
and all the eating, drinking, entertaining, socialising, absolutely everything happened in here.
The communal hall then, basically,
In order
yeah.
for them to give, for the members of the household, the inner family, to have some peace and quiet, they built these rooms called solars, which, if you think from Latin solus, not Greek solar, not the sun, but solus meaning on your own or solitude,
Oh,
so a
okay.
bit of peace and quiet,
Yeah.
really. And it was also sole leve, so it means up above above. So that's what solar means.
And visitors arriving or coming here
Yeah.
would only visit this room really, unless they were staying overnight or anything. Okay, so
Never mind overnight, they slept here.
I've seen that before.
We're talking 1320s.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'd be...
All the servants slept here as well, did
Everybody
they?
slept here. There was low, the servants may be up that way,
Okay.
and possibly also in the outer rooms, there, kitchens and butteries.
Does that mean then that this was the only part of the building that we would know of, and then as the years have gone by they've extended it and
They have extended. There would have been this room. As I said, there were those rooms I also said,
Yeah.
the service and service areas that you'll go to in a minute,
Okay.
the crypt and the chapel,
Yeah.
for them to obviously pray,
very devout people in that period?
and obviously the kitchen areas. Like even in many places now, the kitchen was always away from where everything else went on.
Okay.
So because of the danger of fire, but also smells and
The smoke.
everything else. The other thing here that you will probably want to film is the green man up there.
Greek man?
Green,
Oh, the green man. Particular reference to what?
so it's a pagan symbol,
Yeah.
meaning abundance, new beginnings, fertility.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
good thing to have in a building, but it's very unusual to find in a secular building because, like many pagan symbols, it was taken over by Christianity and usually found in churches and cathedrals and on pub signs.
So
But
when you see
not
pubs
cars.
for the green
They
man,
are the green man,
okay.
which is this pagan symbol meaning new beginnings and and fertility.
Yeah.
And that's why it's come back in fashion a bit to have a Green Man Festival, and of course Morris dancing, Morris men, they have a Green Man.
Is that kind of one of their central figures then?
Fertilise
Is it? Fertilise. Do you have to have accents to work here?
Green Man, in terms of what they usually come out springtime, is when they come out.
Okay. Fabulous.
So it's 11.3 metres up, and there would have been a louvre at the top for the smoke to go through. The roof is held by a form of suspension. So you've got this offset stone arch,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got mirrored 2 oak arches either end,
Yep.
and then you've got the transverse beams going all the way across.
Transverse beams. See, I couldn't have had to say that doing my own little documentary here.
And I'm going to say something else then. Up there, you can see a slightly different colour in the wood. See if I can make it clearer. You see slightly different colour.
What, on the left-hand
Wood
side?
going across that.
Oh, the main beam. Oh, yeah, okay, just at this point here, yeah.
When that piece of conservation work was done, they took the time to dendrologically date those beams, and they date 1311.
Yeah.
So
13.
quite sure of the dating.
Brilliant. So even though, like online, it says the house dates from 1340 to 60, You know, in terms of it
It's
being
meant
built
to
and
put that
completed.
online. Has the National
The
Trust
actual-
put that online?
No, I saw it just.
Because Wiki.
Let's not say the word. you know where I went.
They don't always get it right. We because we know that they're 1311 and oak has to be used while it's still green as well.
Okay.
And for other archaeological finding and geomapping and everything, we're competent 1320s, 1330s.
Astonishing.
And what
isn't
we
it?
now know, in fact, all the historical emphasis on the Great Hall, but you can't see it now. We now know over there that lower part of the left from the tower.
Okay, yeah.
It's called the Squire's Room. That is the oldest part of the building.
Okay.
Because we now know, or fairly confident, I would say, never say no, that the workmen built that for themselves and their tools
Okay.
in order to build the Great Hall.
Wow.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
doesn't
sounds like the workman's shed.
Obviously.
Get that built
it?
first.
A medieval porter cabin.
Yeah, absolutely. But then it became part of the main structure of the
And
building.
then it was incorporated.
Fabulous. They've closed the gates. That's it. I'm out
Yes,
of
way
here.
to go.
Quick stroll around. Thank you for that. That was fabulous. Pause the video. Okay, we're running out of time here now, so just a quick run through. A living room. A corridor with paintings. That was Anne Miller I was talking to. The kitchen that Anne was talking about. The boudoir. Ooh. Oh, the lady of the house wants you. She's in the boudoir. Bedrooms 1 through 10. Or the drawing room. Tudor in the drawing room with the video camera. The crypt. This is the crypt. I was working in the lab late one night. Or was it the crypt that I was working in? Here he is, Portland, Maine. A pilgrim returns. I think his ashes are interred here somewhere. This is the last owner of the house, Henry Robinson. Died 1985 and was stationed here during World War II. But, as Anne has pointed out, we shouldn't believe what we read. Let's go up the stairs. The housemaid's sluice. What's a sluice, people? Read for yourself. Contents of a chamber pot. I'm going to wash that sluice right out. Wow, look at this. Hi.
Hello.
We're nearly done.
Oh, you've only just begun upstairs.
Have I got time? Tell me about this room.
This is the Oriel room,
Oriel room,
and it
okay.
is part of the original early 14th century structure of the house,
Okay.
when it was one of the two solars, the upstairs retiring room for the family.
Anne told me about the solar.
It's called the Oriel room because it has an oriel window, which is a room jutting out on the first floor or higher, with no floor underneath it, no supports.
Okay.
And like a bay window, which of course would have had another one
Yeah.
straight underneath.
The English. We bay windows that we know of in our terraced houses have the same upstairs and downstairs. So an oriel only has the upper one.
Yes.
Okay. Is that particular part of architecture in terms of a period, like the Tudors, or?
Sure, I think they still put them today.
Okay.
So I'm not sure when they were introduced, I have to admit, I don't know that one.
But the 1400s, you say?
Early 1400s the house was built.
Look at this.
the initial part, and this was part of the initial part.
Okay.
I think the first floor is probably about 1350.
As early as that. Astonishing, isn't it?
Amazing, isn't it? Much.
There's a bit more light in here. Does it bother you all working in, like, because you have to rotate, don't you?
Yes.
Go around to a different room and everything. And does, yeah.
You know, surprisingly.
Do you only work in this place? Do you do other buildings?
Just this one.
Okay.
Sorry?
You've got no soft furnishing.
No.
And that makes a difference, doesn't it, to the amount of light that you have?
Yes, it does actually. Yes, so you get more light in here because we don't have to be so careful in here.
For the
For
fabrics.
the fabrics and the wallpapers and yeah.
But there's no sitting for you ladies.
Oh no, there's the seats.
Okay.
Anything that hasn't got dry flowers on, we can.
I can sit on, and you can too.
Exactly.
What's through here?
Oh, this is
Just
the
this-
boys' rooms.
It's what, sorry?
These are what called started boys' rooms.
Okay.
So this is known on the map actually as the chapel dressing room. So it was probably a dressing room. And then as you go through, I can't really go any further than this because I can't leave the chapel.
Oh, okay.
But so you go through what's called the boys' rooms, and then into the sewing room. Well,
The bath in there, haven't you? And
so
the
you can
rocking
see,
horse.
You will see the bathroom from what's called the solar bedroom.
Okay.
So you'll see another.
And if I go that way, I'll come back out through this way again, will I?
No. You go through the solar bedroom.
Is that the route anyway, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's the route. So, it just, so really, what you're doing is doing a square of the house. You're just
Okay.
going around. So yeah, you just follow.
I'll go that way then. Thank you.
All right.
I'm fascinated by this panelling. Looks very much like, you know, Tudor buildings. The lady said it's reminiscent of Hampton Court, where they have this panelling on the walls.
Why did you do it? Because it's late. You don't finish it around this time. Are you staying up? No, 40,000 people across London. No, I'm going off the idea.
Nearly finished. That's my final. This looks quite modern then, doesn't it, compared to everything else? So what you've done, you've kind of got different periods in each of the different rooms. So the Great Hall where you come in with the iron suits of armour and stuff.
They sort of reflect the owners of the time. Gentleman that was the last.
And there you have it, Ightham Mote. Cheekily interviewed a couple of people, got some information from them. So what that's telling me is perhaps we shouldn't believe everything we read online. Because I had the assumption it was built in 1340 to 1360, and some of the oak beams, as Anne Miller was telling me, date to 1310 or 1311, which is old. I'm going to do some research. Who was King of England in 1310? John? Richard the Lionheart? King of England? Gotta love Google. King of England? This is hard, look. I'm trying to do it with one hand. England. Edward of Carnarvon was Edward II. He was king from 1284 to 1327. And he was the first Prince of Wales. You may remember another video I did. So it was Edward II was king during the time this place was built. What do you think? Does it meet with your approval?